Have you ever wondered why two people can earn very different incomes, yet experience completely opposite financial lives? One may earn a modest salary and still live with calm, balance, and security. The other may earn more than enough, yet constantly feel overwhelmed, stressed, and afraid of the future. This contrast reveals an important truth. Money alone does not create peace. Numbers do not guarantee stability, and income does not automatically produce freedom. What truly shapes a person's financial life is not how much they earn, but how they live. It is their habits, their decisions, their values. The Bible may not use modern financial language, but it speaks deeply about stewardship, discipline, contentment, generosity, and trust. These principles are timeless, and they continue to work regardless of culture, economy, or season. Throughout Scripture, God reveals that finances are not disconnected from faith. In fact, how we handle money often reflects what we truly believe about God. Jesus spoke about money often, not because wealth was the goal, but because he understood the human heart. He knew that money has the power to compete for our trust, our security, and our attention. He taught that wherever our treasure goes, our heart will follow. There was a season in my life when I believed the solution to my stress was simple. I thought, if I just earned more, everything would improve. So I worked harder, chased opportunities, and filled my schedule. Yet every month felt heavy. Bills arrived faster than peace. Worry followed me even on good days. Eventually, I realized something profound. My problem was not lack of income. My problem was lack of order. When I began to study biblical principles and slowly apply them, gratitude, discipline, patience, generosity, and trust in God, something unexpected happened. My finances did not change instantly, but my anxiety did. Peace came first. Clarity followed. Provision grew later. This is how God often works. He reshapes the heart before he increases the hands. That is why today I want to share 8 biblical habits that can transform the way you experience money. These are not shortcuts to wealth. They are foundations for stability, peace, and purpose. If practiced consistently, they will not only influence your finances, but also your mindset, your decisions, and your confidence about the future. So take your time, listen carefully, and allow these principles to challenge how you think, spend, save, and trust. Because when your life aligns with God's wisdom, your finances eventually follow. Habit 1. Develop a lifestyle of gratitude. Gratitude is not something you feel when life is easy. It is something you practice when life is real. Many people believe they will become grateful once they reach a certain financial level. But Scripture teaches the opposite. Gratitude is the starting point, not the reward. The Bible encourages believers to give thanks in every situation. Not because every situation is good, but because God remains faithful through all of them. There was a time when my attention was locked on what I lacked. I compared my life to others. I measured success by possessions. And without realizing it, dissatisfaction became my default emotion. Even blessings felt small when comparison took control. One day, I realized something uncomfortable. A heart trained to complain will never feel satisfied, no matter how much it receives. I began intentionally practicing gratitude. Not emotionally, but deliberately. Each morning, I named blessings out loud. Some days they felt small. A meal, a conversation, a moment of rest. But those moments mattered. Over time, gratitude changed how I handled money. I stopped spending impulsively to escape emptiness. I became more thoughtful, more patient. Gratitude reduces financial pressure because it removes the need to prove something. When contentment grows, spending slows. When peace grows, control increases. Gratitude does not ignore problems. It simply refuses to let problems define reality. A thankful mindset protects your finances more than a higher salary ever could. Habit 2. Reject the culture of constant debt. Debt has become normal in modern society. It is advertised as convenience, flexibility, and progress. But Scripture describes debt in a very different way. Debt creates dependence. It limits freedom. It transfers tomorrow's income into yesterday's decisions. Many people enter debt with good intentions. They believe they will manage it later. But interest grows quietly, and pressure builds slowly. Debt does not usually collapse life instantly. It erodes peace gradually. Not all borrowing is evil, but careless borrowing is dangerous. Using debt to maintain appearances or lifestyle creates constant stress. Every paycheck becomes a sign before it arrives. Living within your means may feel restrictive at first, but it creates room to breathe. Patience builds strength. Discipline creates margin. True freedom is not owning everything now. It is having choices later. When you reduce debt, you reclaim peace. When you avoid unnecessary debt, you protect your future. Habit 3. Treat your work as a calling, not just a job. Work is not merely a way to earn money. It is a reflection of character. Scripture teaches that sincere effort matters to God, even when it goes unnoticed by others. There was a season when I viewed work as something to endure rather than honor. I did only what was required, nothing more. Then I understood this truth. Small responsibilities reveal readiness for greater opportunities. Excellence attracts trust. Trust attracts opportunity. When you give your best consistently, even in ordinary tasks, doors begin to open naturally. Excellence is not perfection. It is intention. Work done with purpose carries weight. Effort offered faithfully invites promotion. When work becomes worship, income becomes a result, not the goal. Habit 4. Anchor your finances in integrity. Integrity is quiet but powerful. It does not seek attention, yet it shapes reputation. It does not rush, yet it endures. Honesty builds trust that money cannot buy. Shortcuts may offer speed, but they weaken foundations. Integrity may slow progress initially, but it stabilizes growth long-term. A reputation built on truth becomes a shield during difficult seasons. When people trust your word, they trust your work. When they trust your work, opportunities multiply. Wealth built on deception fades. Provision built on integrity lasts. Habit 5. Give every dollar direction. Money without direction disappears quickly. A plan is not restriction. It is protection. When finances are unmanaged, stress multiplies. When finances are organized, peace increases. Stewardship means deciding in advance instead of reacting emotionally. Even a simple plan creates clarity. When money has purpose, anxiety loses power. Faithfulness with little prepares the way for more. Habit 6. Save with intention, not fear. Saving is not about fear of tomorrow. It is about respect for responsibility. Wise preparation honors both present and future. Small, consistent savings build resilience. Resilience reduces panic. Saving creates options. Options create peace. Those who prepare are not shaken by surprise. Saving is not distrust in God. It is cooperation with wisdom. Habit 7. Live with open hands. Generosity reshapes the heart. It weakens fear. It breaks greed. It strengthens trust. Giving reminds us that provision flows through us, not from us. Generosity is not measured by amount, but by willingness. When generosity becomes natural, abundance follows naturally. What you release in faith returns with purpose. Habit 8. Place God at the center of everything. This habit gives balance to all others. God is not a last resort. He is the source. When God leads financial decisions, confusion decreases and peace increases. Seeking God first aligns priorities and restores confidence. Trust transforms effort into impact. Final reflection. These habits are not trends. They are truths. Financial peace grows where obedience lives. Start small. Remain consistent. Trust deeply. Declare this with confidence. My finances are guided by God's wisdom. When principles lead, provision follows.